Many democratic countries are in turmoil, whether big or small. Their parliaments argue every day, political parties attack each other for power, and policies are made not for the people, but for the votes. Voters hope for change, yet are fooled again and again by political slogans. In the end, elections every 4 or 5 years only bring rotating governments, while problems remain unsolved. The economy stalls and social tensions deepen. The root cause lies in the flaws of the system itself. Western democracy stresses freedom and competition, but it forgets that governing a country is a marathon, not a sprint. People need long-term stable policies. Instead, one party promises to build a high-speed rail, the next cancels it. One cuts taxes and the next raises them. With policies constantly shifting, how can there be stability? How can investors feel confident? How can ordinary people see hope? The United States is the clearest example. Its presidential elections look more like reality TV shows, with candidates calling each other liars or clowns. Once in office, parties block each other's moves. A single policy might drag on for years in Congress and finally be watered down to nothing. For decades, America has failed to solve its problems in healthcare, education, public safety, and now is the homelessness. Instead, things have gotten worse. Inequality grows, the middle class disappears, and America First has ended up benefiting Wall Street and big corporations rather than workers. What is called freedom often results in uncertainty and disorder. By contrast, I know you may call it propaganda. For me, it's just information for you to reference. China's system is different from Western democracy, not perfect, of course, but it solves the most important problem, long-term planning and stability. China can set 5-year plans, 10-year plans, even visions for 2035 and 2050, unaffected by election cycles. High-speed rail and poverty reduction are results of decades of consistent effort, now close to completing the 14th 5-year plan. Let me give you an example. To address environmental problems in northern China, the country launched a 72-year project starting in 1978, divided into 3 phases. Stage 1, building an ecological shield for farming and herding, is already completed. Stage 2, controlling desertification and soil erosion, also completed. And the final stage, bringing wind and water damage under control by 2050, is undergoing. This project covers 45% of China's land, about half the size of Europe. China can also mobilize resources quickly. A project that might take 10 years of debate in the West can be completed in just a few years in China. During the pandemic, 2 hospitals were built in 10 days, shocking the world. Meanwhile, in the West, endless arguments over whether masks should be mandatory ended with millions of days. Some say China's system is not free enough. But does constantly changing governments really benefit the people? Think about that. In the West, elections are just opportunities every 4 years for politicians and capital to manipulate the public. The voters. What we think the real freedom is being able to go to school, see a doctor, buy a home, and live a stable life. In the past few decades, Chinese people have seen rising incomes, rapid urbanization, convenient transport, and widespread internet access. Life has steadily improved year by year. Yes, of course, there are challenges like inequality and an aging population, but the government has both the capacity and the determination to face them, rather than delay endlessly. Most importantly, China maintains social stability, good public security, and a safe environment for investment. That is true protection of people's livelihoods, don't you think so? This is why more countries are beginning to reflect. Is Western-style democracy really the best model? Maybe it is more important to learn from China to focus on long-term development and stability, rather than on political performances every 4 or 5 years. I know you may want to call this China's propaganda, but in reality, as competitors, your failure is naturally our gain, right? If you were to integrate elements of China's system into Western democracy and become stronger, that would not be in China's interest, right? So why would China promote that? But speaking personally, I don't want an unipolar world without competition. I worry that decades from now, China's government could also become corrupt and stagnate, just like the US government is today. That is why I sincerely hope other countries grow stronger too. A multipolar world with competition is the best future. I believe that, don't you think so? And follow me to see the world with an Eastern perspective, okay?